welcome to the Midnight Show. Today I'm going to talk about an old cold case from the UK. So this is about the unsolved case of Suzy Lamplugh. I wasn't sure how to pronounce her last name, so I'm just going to spell it out. So her last name, the spelling of it is Lamplughh. Okay. I just want to say before I give more information about her that I don't mean to disrespect anyone or her family or anyone related to her. Just give me some facts, and I'm just going to talk about what's happening in the current times about the case. Okay. So Suzy Lamplugh was born Susanna Jane Lamplugh, born 3rd of May 1961 in Cheltenham. She was an estate agent in Fulham, London. She was reported missing on 28th of July 1986, and she was 25. She was a beautiful person. I can see her picture. So young and beautiful, and so much potential for her future. Makes this case more unfortunate. I mean, they're all terrible, but they're all hard. Okay, so from Wikipedia, I'm going to link all the links in the description box. She was officially declared dead and presumed murdered in 1994. The last clue to her, to what happened to her, was in a house in Charles Road, and she was showing a man called Mr. Kipper a house, and that's when she disappeared. Okay. So as of last year, 2020, the case is unsolved. Let's see more information about her disappearance. Okay. So Suzy Lamplugh was an estate agent, as we know now, and she was reported missing after she went to show a man who called himself Mr. Kipper a house in Fulham. Her office diary recorded the details of the appointment at 12:45 to a Mr. Kipper at 37 Charles in question. So Charles refers to a road called Charles. So the full address wasn't noted in her diary. And there were 2 letters O/S, which means outside the property. So they're meeting outside the property. And there were some witnesses who reported seeing her talking to a man on this road and then getting into a car. Her car was a Ford Fiesta. I'm not going to say the registration because it's not, I think it's a bit too much information. But there are some more details to the case. So her car was found outside the property for sale in Stevenage Road, Fulham. which was a mile and a half away from what? Hang on. I was looking at my notes, I'm sorry. Okay, so it's out April. Okay, so a car was found outside this property that was for sale about a mile and a half away from it. Okay, got it. Okay, so the handbrake was off and the car key was missing. Her purse was found in a storage pocket in one of the car's outside doors. Sorry, on one of the car's side doors. So the police thinks or suggested that a black left-hand drive BMW vehicle may have been involved because an eyewitness saw a car of that description at the same location of her car on that road, on the Stevenage Road. Anyway, the police couldn't find any other connection of Cooper connected to her. Apparently, it has a name Cooper has a Dutch origin or pronunciation. Cooper, I'm not sure. Yeah. In June 2019, a former police detective thought or suggested that Mr. Cooper and the diary entry might have been a cover story. Interesting. Right, let's have a look at what's happened with the police investigations. So after she disappeared, police tested 800 unidentified bodies and skeletal remains that matched her description. But in 1994, she was pronounced dead or declared dead, presumed murdered. They tried again in 1998 and 2000, but they couldn't find anything. The case was in the show, ITV show Real Crime in 2002. Okay, so there is a theory that allegedly John Cannon, could have killed her. He was a convicted rapist and murderer. It was reported that he was that in November 2002, so I'm not sure if he was definitely convicted of those horrible things then, but that's information. Oh, here's some more information on my notes, which surprised me. So 2002, not sure if definitely November, possibly November, Scotland Yard held a press conference at which officers named Cannon as the person they believed that might have murdered Lamplugh. Anyway, he denied any involvement, and the police investigations failed to show any evidence that it was him. Okay, so that is what we know. I'm gonna go to another, as before in other videos, I can Google some extra information. So I'm just gonna go to a website now and give you some more information. So I've used this website last time in the previous case. So this is from the Daily Mail, not the best website. There's a picture of her and a possible person, Mr. Kipper. I'm going to put this also in the description box. So here's some facts and there's a map. Okay, so we're just going to go over the basic facts. So Suzy Lamplugh disappeared after leaving her office to show a man known as Mr. Kipper around the house in Fulham, West London. So on Sherwood Road, in her diary it showed that at 12:45 she was going to show Mr. Kipper property in Fulham. And then on Stevenage Road, her car was found a mile and a half away with her handbag locked in the glove compartment. Slightly different information from what I've seen, that it was on one of the side pockets in the car. Okay, so last sighting. A witness allegedly saw a woman with Suzy's description arguing with a man on Sherwood Road before getting into a dark BMW with him. Probably not the best thing to do, but there's a video that shows the area and where it might have happened. So on the Daily Mail, let's see if I can find any other information. Okay, so there's a little bit more here about Mr. Cannon. 3 days before she vanished, Cannon was released from a hostel at Wormwood Scrubs Prison, where he had been serving a 6-year sentence for rape. Then he was jailed. Later at some point in 1989, he was jailed for life for the rape and murder of a lady called Shirley Banks, who was newlywed in Bristol. That's so sad. They're all sad. Anyway, so the detectives were like, yeah, we think it's him, but we don't have the evidence. That sort of thing. Anyway, the suspect's mother. So the police went to the suspect's mother. They pulled up at her patio. That's what it says. In Sutton Coldfield. There's a picture. And there's a picture of police digging in an area near it. Like in the garden. Also in the garden sort of thing. Okay. I'm just going to read straight what it says here, because if I say some odd words it can be a bit confusing. Okay, here we go. From the Daily Mail. At the time, the suburban home current owner revealed that 15 years ago a police team spent 6 months searching the patio at the other end of the same backyard. Despite a search of the property lasting around 2 weeks, no evidence was recovered. Cannon was still seeing out his rape and murder sentence, but he can't trace the trial for Suzy's murder while her body is still missing. 6 months. I wonder if they knew something about him. I wonder if they knew something about him, but they couldn't fully prove it. That's interesting. I'll see if I've got any more notes about her. So I found this website. And you can read about it on The Guardian as well, if you want to. I'll put the link in the description box. I don't think there's any extra information. There are some photos about her. Yes. So this website about her it's a trust, SuzyLamplugh.org, the Suzy Lamplugh Trust, Live Life Safe. And there's a number for the National Stalking Helpline. There's a really beautiful picture of her here. I'll also link this description here if you want to check it out. So that's the case of Suzy Lamplugh. I hope more information is found about her. If you know any information about this case or who might have been involved or anything, contact the police. There's all sorts of information on these websites. If you want to take a look at them or if you want to report anything. Okay, this case, super sad. Gonna leave it here for now. I'll speak to you next week.